Let's begin. Welcome everyone to session number 34 at D365 Huge India platform on the future of administration in F&O. Sorry, the title is wrong. It's from the last session. I forgot to update. Apologies. But we have been joined by Orline from France, who will be delivering this session. Uh, just a quick disclaimer before we move ahead that the views expressed in these sessions are from the experience of speakers, and it's not a representation of Microsoft or their employers. And for all these sessions, we use Contoso demo database. As a trial environments, and we use lab environments for these. Any recommendations coming out of these sessions should be tested in a test environment before applying to production. And these sessions is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel. So please be mindful of that. Okay. So a quick group introduction. We launched this group around 2 years back with a vision of connecting Dynamics 365 F&O professionals globally. We are available on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and we have been joined by 2,500 plus members. So thank you everyone who have joined us in this journey and keep supporting us. The group is driven by 4 volunteers: myself, Umesh, Satya, and Deepak. So Umesh and Deepak have joined us. Satya, due to some reasons, is unable to join us today, but we all are working really hard behind the scenes to make these events happen and bring speakers like Orline here to you, so that we can have a connection and we can learn and grow together. All the past sessions are available on our YouTube channel. So feel free to check us out, subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest videos which we are publishing. Today, we have been joined by Microsoft MVP Orline, who will be talking about the future of development and administration of Dynamics 365 F&O, which is a very hot and new topic where Microsoft has brought this feature to public preview. So without doing further ado, the floor is all yours, Orline. Take it away. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Tac. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen. Oh, okay. I need to go that. Okay. So, welcome. hope you are still awake and you had time to drink some coffee. Because it will be a large session, but we will try to do it in 1 hour. So it's a huge thing for me. But I will try to summarize as I can. And of course, at the end, we can have a Q&A because I guess there will be a lot of questions on this topic. So as an introduction level, so we'll do an introduction. We will spoke about 3 parts. So administration, so admin strategy globally, environment, how this new feature will change a lot of things for you, and the development side, of course, because that's the main purpose also of this feature, the dev side, and the ALM. So ALM part, I don't know if you all are aware of that. So it's application lifecycle management. So it's like the DevOps part, the deployment part. And of course, as explained, there is a Q&A at the end. So if you don't know me, maybe. So as I explained, I'm Aurélien Clerc. So sorry, it's not an international first name, complex to spell it in English, but well, my parents didn't pick a right first name, international first name. So sorry for that, but it's Aurélien Clerc if you spell it in French. So I'm a CTO at Danagil, global architect and MVP for 3 or 4 years, I don't remember. Globally, I have a blog, so don't forget. Feel free to go there because especially for this topic, this session of today, I made an article and a video also to explain. Of course, as in a 1 hour, it will be complex to summarize my article that is very long. But if you are if you want to go in details, I have a global article on this new feature on it. And of course, don't hesitate to add me on social network, because I guess maybe if you have a question in 1 week, 2 weeks, or if you see this video in replay, if you had some problems, you can. I'm kind of, as always, as I can, available for you of the community. And thanks for the invitation also. So let's go. As an introduction, so you will see I have just one slide as usual with me, because after it will be demonstration only. So I picked only these images, this image, which is not from me, it's from Microsoft, thanks. Again, also just maybe I want to highlight again the whole product group team of Microsoft that delivered this new feature of One Dynamics One Platform. And I guess, I don't know if it was the case for you, but I was waiting for this feature for 5 years, 4 years. I don't remember when someone of Microsoft said, you will have soon the ability to develop locally. But it was waiting. And now we have it in public preview still, but it's I guess a huge step in 2023 and maybe also in 2024. Which is very global change on finance operation. So as you know, of course, you like lifecycle services like me. Very good portal to manage your environment, to install add-in, to do deployment, to all things on finance operation environment. But it was a dedicated part, I would say. So goal of Microsoft is to bring all together all Dynamics 365 apps into one global platform. First of all, technically speaking, as a reminder, maybe if you don't know that, still behind the scene, it will be still in the future separated. You will still have a container for CE CRM application and one different containers for finance operation. Because as you know, we have 10,000 tables in F&O. In CRM, you have just maybe 100. The data types are not the same. The language X++ and C#.NET for CE is not the same. It's not, as you know, if you, like me, working like 10 years or more on CRM or ERP on the Microsoft system, it's not the same thing, okay? So it's completely not possible as of now. I don't know, maybe in 10 years they will really do the same thing, but right now it's not really possible to say fusion, to fusion everything together. So, but the goals of Microsoft behind One Dynamics One Platform is to, as much as possible, on everything they can, to have one global platform to do administration as the same thing as CE for ERP, F&O. Same thing like, and if you are CRM or CE developers, it was possible to do development locally from the beginning, in fact, almost. If you were working on CRM 2011, even on premise, it was possible to do development locally. But on F&O, it was not the same. In X 2012, you had to go to AOT to develop on the VM globally. And same thing for F&O. Since the 2017, 16, you need to have a VM in Azure globally to do development, so cloud-hosted environment, etc. So the goal is to really to bring together the same thing as we do in CE, CRM stuff, to F&O. So that's the goal, that's the goal. And they bring a lot of things, including the last article I made also for Synapse, the one development, one Dynamics One Platform on analytics part. Now in finance operation, we can use the same thing for as CE CRM stuff. It's Synapse Link. So they want to, of course, I'm not Microsoft, okay? So, but I always want to know what will be their strategy behind the scene, behind those new features coming every year, every month. Is someone from Microsoft on CE as a product manager has released the stuff to do Synapse Link. Why in finance operation we can't use the same feature? You know, even if it's not globally behind the scenes, the global same platform, they want to bring the same features on both sides. You know, to try to do the marketing stuff the Microsoft sold every month is, you know, you have a circle on Dynamics and you have every Dynamics apps and you think it's all connected together. But you know, if you are working on F&O, you have Jira, you have virtual entity. So you know that technically speaking, it's not really the case. So, but they try to leverage that and to bring that together. So that's the introduction. Now demonstration. Okay. So how to create those new type of environments. So first of all, very important, LCS will not disappear right now. You know, it's we still use it. Okay, as of now, we will still use it for several times. I don't know, you know, the the time when Microsoft said, okay, we have made all feature of SCS available in PPAC. So just for information, I will use a lot of PPAC acronym. So it's Power Platform Admin Center, okay? So yeah, the goal is really, of course, we are still in public preview, okay? So you can still deploy cloud-hosted development environment as of now, and I will still recommend, if you are still approaching a go-live date on a new project, this new type of environment, okay, it's perfect to try it, to use it. It's a public preview, there is bug, okay, of course, as usual. Even in GA, even its general availability, you know, Microsoft release bug, okay. So I will still recommend for your project, if you are a partner, to still use closed-hosted environment as of now, but you can try it on your own tenant or on a tenant of your customer to deploy one type of this new environment if you want to try it and use it. And yeah, it's a good way to jump also on Power Platform side if you don't have done that yet. So first thing now, if I go to my PPAC, so PPAC, again, if you want to go to PPAC, I will recommend to use this link, okay, aka.ms/PPAC. You will be redirected on this. And first thing to check, and which is also an hot topic, okay, it's your capacity you have right now on your tenant, okay? So globally, by default, when you buy finance operation, Microsoft gives you some extra storage capacity, okay? Because on this new type of environment, you are not on Azure side. It's really software as a service, like tier 2, like production. So you will not have access to anything behind the scene. It's not on your laptop. It's not a VM. All things AOS, including the database, will be on Azure and on a managed environment of Microsoft. So you are not connecting as RDP. You will use Visual Studio locally. AOS will be on the cloud. SQL will be on the cloud. Everything will be on the cloud. So I need a developer environment. Let's go. I create it. I want to have it in 1 or 2 hours. That's the goal, you know. If I was a CRM or CE developer, if I work on a CRM project, when a new guy is coming, a developer on my project, I just create a Dataverse and that's it, you know. They don't need to wait 6 hours on LCS to deploy an Azure environment, to do security stuff, to activate auto shutdown. You know, it's it's a lot of things to manage on the Azure Cloud Hosted environment. Because, you know, it's a IaaS, it's a infrastructure as a service. So always when you are going with that, you have a lot of maintenance to do on this VM. Not a large one, but still you have to manage a lot of things. Now the goal is, of course, to do the same kind of environment as Dataverse. So to create, when I want a new finance operation environment, I will go to Power Platform in Admin Center, like CE people do every time. I create a Dataverse plus a finance operation behind the scene. Okay, but in order to do that, you have to have storage capacity. Okay, because as you know, when you deploy an Azure cloud hosted environment, you need to buy or to pay, Azure cost. You know, when I have a new customer, I did create an LCS project, I create Azure cloud hosted environment. So for that, I need to create an Azure subscription. If it was not already available, they will pay, of course, pay as you go. Azure is pay as you go. So, but still, an cloud hosted environment, there is some disk behind the scene because it's a virtual machine. So you pay when it's up, you don't pay when it's down. But when you have a disk, managed disk on your VM, you pay even if it's stopped. Okay, so either way, if I have 10 cloud hosted environment on Azure side, I will pay 10 multiple the number of disks on each virtual machine. So at the end, the cost of Azure can be kind of huge. Huge, I don't know, but yeah, you pay, even if it's stopped. Here, it's not. It's a software as a service. It will never stop. So okay. My guess, my pattern, I would say, will be to have one developer environment per developer. As usual, we add with Azure Cloud Hosted Environment. Maybe you can share the same one for other colleagues, other developer, you know, because again, it's like tier 2, it's always available, so you can connect to it. But if someone are developing and connect to the same environment and you are deploying some stuff and some people, some guy near to you do the same stuff, okay, you can have a collision. And yes, so I will still maybe recommend to deploy one developer's environment per developer. That's it. So for the storage, which is very strange here, and normally when it's working well, but I don't have it. Okay, perfect. But normally I have a capacity dashboard, like a report to see what is my usage right now. What is my global database usage I have in my tenant. Same thing for finance operation. So I think when you buy 20 minimum licenses of finance operation, Microsoft gave you 60 gigabytes of finance operation by default. And they also gave 10 gigabytes for Dataverse. So when I will create this new type of unified developer environment, it will use globally by default with a Contoso demo database, 2 or 3 gigabytes of Dataverse plus 6 gigabytes of finance operation database. So as you can see, if I deploy 5 or 10 developer environment, it could be huge, especially because we will see that normally when I deploy a new type of environment like this, I will recommend to copy the latest production database on it. And if you are a really large finance operation production database on it, it could cost you very high, in fact. So even if you will save a lot of money on the Azure side, you will have to pay extra maybe database storage capacity. But I see a lot of comments on this topic, and I want to take just 1 minute to talk about one thing. Normally, if I was a Microsoft salespeople, I would say, yeah, but Aurelian, you know, finance operation storage capacity wasn't free since the beginning, you know. So it's like, and if I was going to CRM or CE side, it was already from the beginning of moving to the online cloud thing in 2017. It was already mandatory to pay extra database storage capacity. And if you were not on, you were on extra over usage part, you will receive a lot of mail saying that you are on Dataverse over usage capacity. You need to pay. Huh? You need to put your credit cards, Aurelian. Okay. And for F&O, it was already like this. If you open up the licensing guide of Microsoft, it's really saying that database over usage capacity on F&O side is not free. You need to pay it. But of course, since the beginning of LCS, you didn't add any kind of dashboard in SCS, to say that your tenant is okay with 600 gigabytes because you have 100 finance licenses, but you had to request the support team by going with a support case to say, hey, can you give me the overall usage capacity I do in database side to pay? So of course nobody does it, okay, even partner or customer, and you didn't have any alert, any warning, anything. It was really to be to be aligned with Microsoft on the licensing guide. But I guess that a lot of people globally in the world was not respect, I would say, this part. And now, of course, we are going to the same kind of pattern as Power Platform. So now it's mandatory. So really, you can't deploy this kind of environment if you are over usage or you don't have the right license on your tenant. But I think even for finance operation, if you didn't have the license, it was possible to go to finance operation instance. But if you are going to CRM or CE side, it was mandatory. If I was deploying a Dynamics 365 sales or marketing or customer service, if I have not a license assigned to me, I can't go to the environment. But I would say it's like finally Microsoft is also converge, the requirement or the mandatory checking license things for F&O. So it was time. I was really saying, it was a thing on my mind for several years. I was when Microsoft will check that, for F&O. So, yeah, the time is come. Now you have to buy and to pay for it. But despite that, it's quite simple. You will see to create the environment. If you don't know what the license is assigned to you, I would recommend to go there, here on top right, your account, okay? If you go to that, in view account, you will see you have a subscription here. Yeah, subscription. And you will have all the license assigned to you, your account, as me, as individual, part of this company. Okay, subscription, thank you. And the mandatory thing to deploy this new kind of environment is to have this thing, common data service for Dynamics Finance. Of course, if you have a Dynamics 365 supply chain, it will work also. It's exactly what you need to have globally. Otherwise, you will have an error. But still, we are in public preview. I've seen some kind of bug right now. If I try to do it in another tenant of my customer where I didn't add this license, and that I didn't have any error. So normally they will check maybe more better, I would say, in the future, especially when I guess it will be in GA, this new feature. But right now, I would say, yeah, the main thing, so the checking license I sent to you, I would say normally if you are on a tenant where you don't have it, I guess from what I've seen a few days back, it will work still, which is not maybe what the Microsoft really wanted, in fact. So, but at the end, the people, the guy, the girl that will deploy this new environment, we need this license, okay? But he can deploy it on behalf of someone else, okay? So if you are working as a partner on a customer where you don't have, maybe like me, a license assigned on my account, they can ask the IT people of this customer to deploy it for me and assign me the right permission to access it after, okay? But the checks they do right now, even in public view, is really the database storage capacity. So if you don't have it, sorry, but it will not be possible to deploy this new environment. So how to create it? So first thing right now, you don't have it on the, we do that. Yeah, you don't have it on the Power Platform UI interface. Okay, if I go there, you will see that I don't see finance. I don't see supply chain management. That's normal because of the public preview. Okay, so at the end, of course, you will not deploy it through through PowerShell what I will do right now. Okay, so it will be available as a user interface simple thing.
Arohi,
Okay.
Yakama.
Yeah, you need to mute your microphone, sorry, but PowerShell. So how to deploy it? So it's very simple. Again, it's available in my article or also in Microsoft Learn documentation. So you have to go with PowerShell. But this is quite common. I've seen a lot of comment on Viva Engage or the Yammer group of Microsoft. Someone say, oh, but why we need PowerShell to deploy this environment? But you know, if you are a CRM or C people, they used to do it like this, you know. So behind the scene, it's using the Power Platform CLI, which is a really well-known framework in PowerShell to manage everything. I will try, but
sorry to
I don't
interrupt.
think.
Can you zoom in a bit? It's just not readable.
Ah.
Okay, this is fine. When you go to browser, maybe you can zoom in there. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I can. It's better maybe like this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So globally, you need to connect to it. So you need to. I can do it again. So this is so you need to install the framework, the library of PowerShell. Okay, but again, it's explained on the documentation. When you do that, okay, it will connect. So I will pick my account. Okay. And after, I need to do this stuff. Okay, this one. So here is a JSON object that says that I want a finance operation instance, okay? And I want the DevTools enabled, and I want the Contoso demo data enabled, okay? So that's the goal of this JSON object that will be pasted on the over command I will do after. So I can click on it. And the last command to go is this one, sorry. Yeah. So this is so really three commands to type in PowerShell, including the install of the library if you haven't before. I will pick another name. So here is to say I want a new Dataverse environment with this name. Okay. I want a sandbox and I want a finance instance. Finance. So here it's a template. Again, it's my own article if you want to deep dive on it. But it's here where you say I have a license assigned to me. And this is normally what they will check if you have the right license assigned to you based on the template you requested. Okay. This is a JSON object that I explained just before, and the data center where you want to be available. So here I am on Europe, so I will do this. Here we have a new bug. So you will say that, okay, it's running. Okay, I wait, and nothing happened. So you just cancel it, but really not a big deal because when I cancel it and I refresh my Power Platform in Center, I will see that, yeah, it's currently preparing. Perfect. So really the big step forward, the really things I was waiting for that on this new feature is, as you know, if you are going with a cloud-hosted environment, you need to wait 6 hours, maybe more. I didn't see less from my experience. So now it's taking 1 hour and 30 minutes. So really, this new type of developer environment for F&O could be used as a trash, or trash, maybe it's not the big, the best word in English, but like a throwaway environment, because you know you can really create environment very quickly. I don't know if 1 hour 30 minutes is quickly, but as a F&O people, yeah, we were used to wait a lot, and you will see that even after, because of course my environment will be up, I can work on it, but of course I need a fresh database on it. Okay, and you will see that now it will not be anymore needed to copy my prod database from ACS to a sandbox tier 2, to backup it, to restore it locally on the Azure Cloud Hosted environment. You will see that to copy an environment, even a finance operation tier 2 instance or production instance, you can do it through Power Platform Admin Center. Okay, so this is really huge because you will see that here, this one, as you can see, this is not a unified developer sandbox. this is a Dataverse linked to my tier 2 instance from LCS. That's why I explained it before that LCS will not disappear yet, because tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5 production are still manageable, or you have to do exactly what you used to do in LCS. Okay, here it's my tier 2 instance. Okay, I see that I have well linked my Dataverse on it. Okay, I have installed add-in, etc. Okay, as we used to do it for a long time. And now I can say that this F&O instance linked to this Dataverse instance that I see here. Okay, I know here. Yeah, this one. I can copy it through just one button. It's copy. And here I can say that my unified developer experience that I just created before, I can copy it. It will copy the Dataverse database and the F&O database without any action. Okay, so this is really huge, because I don't know for you, but for other customer I worked, you know, we always have like 50, 100 gigabytes, you know, for a production database where you have 2-3 years of data. Now you can just, with 3 clicks, copy everything you want. And this is really important because, as explained, it's still 2 containers. Because as I explained, it will copy the Dataverse database and the F&O database. So this is why I explained it before, that it's 2 different containers, still 2 different instances behind the scene. Okay, because it's 2 tasks to do. Okay. So really a huge step forward for this, from my side. I don't know if you're sharing the same thing, including production. So as I explained, if I want, like I showed you before, if I want a new developer is coming on my project, I can, as you have seen, create the environment very quickly with PowerShell and soon from the Power Platform UI and in Center UI. But here I can, in you will have 1 hour and 1 hour 30 minutes to deploy it, and 1 hour, 1 hour 30 to copy the latest production database. So globally speaking, in 3 hours, I have a new developer with the latest fresh production database on it. Okay, so really, really good, really good. So here I will not wait 1 hour and 30 minutes because with the new one I created. So I will pick one that I already created before. Just to share something, here is you will have your Dataverse link URL here, and you have your finance operation link URL here. Okay. First thing, which is not very great. Sorry, Microsoft, for this part, but yeah, I really wanted to have this part. Maybe in the future they will release it, but as you can see, since again it's really behind the scene, still 2 different platforms, you have to manage security, user access level, privileges, UT, blah blah blah, on 2 parts. Okay, so even if I was given access to Aurelian as a developer, because let's assume I am an IT on this customer, I deployed this new type of developer environment F&O side for a new developer. I want after to give him access to it. So I need to give it here on user Dataverse level and on F&O side. So it's not synced. Okay. So you have to do it twice, which is for me not very great. I hope in the future they will, sync it together. F&O, I think it's a huge work, but they need to sync Dataverse plus F&O security purpose on both sides. But the really good thing is behind the scene, you have created your new finance operation instance through Power Platform. So you already have your Dataverse linked to your F&O instance, which is very great because there is a lot of questions for 3 years on how to link correctly your finance operation tier 2 instance to another existing or not existing one Dataverse. So now it's already linked for you, already installed GuideWrite for you, already installed virtual entity for you. Where is it? Sorry, it's here. So you have everything, because as explained before, you have in PowerShell before requested a template FinOps Finance. Okay, so it's how Microsoft knows that you want a Dataverse with finance operation stuff already provisioned for you. So that's why they know how to install those stuff all together, all completely configured for you, which is really great because again, even for a trial solution, for a trial environment, they will do and deploy this new type environment like this. So very great. So already everything is configured for me and very, very great. So now let's go with, I will check if I explain everything on environment, but maybe I will have some question at the end on this topic. But let's go with development side, okay? Just before going to development side, again, the goal also is in the future. So as explained, in SCS, you need still in SCS to manage your tier 2. If you want, you don't deploy cloud-hosted environment. You deploy only environment of developer like this, like I explained before. For tier 2 and tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier production, you still need to use LCS, okay? But how they can remove the LCS is first, they need, of course, at the end, even for finance operation, that even for tier 2, even for production, that you manage the creation of this new type, this environment, also like this, like developer environment. So of course you can't do it right now, so that's why you still need to use LCS. But the goal of Microsoft at the end will be for all types of F&O environment, developers, sandbox, production, to go through Power Platform Admin Center. And so after they can remove LCS, including the installation of LCS add-in, planning optimization, inventory visibility, whatsoever. You will be, and it will be possible to install such things directly from here. Because of course, LCS add-in, it's Dataverse microservices behind the scene. So it's already a Dataverse available compatibility solution. Of course, at the end, it's not yet available. It will be possible to backup it, to restore it, all things we used to do it in LCS. So they really bring features by features. Again, we are still in preview. So all things are not, as of now, available as we add in LCS before, okay? So for developers, so I will not explain on how to install Visual Studio, okay? I assume you know how to install Visual Studio locally. So here I am really on my own laptop where I do this demonstration. So I use Visual Studio 2019. So it will be possible to use 2022 in very short terms or long term, I don't know, but they are working on it, Microsoft, to have 2022. Available, but right now it's 2019. So it's installed. And how to go? So again, it's explained on my article, so I will go really much faster. But you need to install Power Platform tools, extension on Visual Studio first. That's the first thing you need to go. Okay, when you're Visual Studio, you have to install this tool extension, which is very important because when you install this new extension on Visual Studio, you will have the Connect Dataverse button here on Tools, okay? And here you connect to this Dataverse. So that's why, it was very important for F&O people to know a little bit of Power Platform CRM side, because as you know, even if you are developing X++, you will have to go to that. So it's not complex to learn, but you need to know what is Dataverse, otherwise it's completely, very not simple for you. But here I can say, no, I don't want to use this connection. I want to display and connect to it. And I will see all my Dataverse environment on my tenant. So I can connect to the unified developer experience I have right now. And I connect and I go to the default solution here. And here I am connected to the right environment. Okay. the very sorry, a lot of very for me, but as a partner, maybe you are working on several customers, which sometimes is very common, you know, not working on one customer for 1 year, but still. Now, as you can see, I am a partner. I have access to my own tenant, my own partner tenant. But if I was working for several different customers, it was really possible to, to connect through my Visual Studio locally to several DevOps, to several different accounts. Okay, so here it will be possible as working to 2, 3, 4 different tenants, 3, 4, 5 different customers to use the same Visual Studio. Okay, because as you know, if you are as a partner working on several customers, you need before to deploy Azure Cloud Hosted environment on each different tenant. And you know, as a RDP, connect to one to another. So it was really not very simple or very good or very complex. As CRM or C people used to do it, you know, as a CRM developers, it was possible for 10 years to work on several customers on the same computer you have right now on your own laptop. So it will be possible. So when I do that and connect to the right database, the first thing I will show you, maybe I will try to connect to another one just to show you something very important. Maybe this one, no, this one, sorry. Because I had another unified developer experience, okay? And I copy the latest database of my tier 2 instance to this new one. By default, maybe you had already this question for you. By default, Microsoft, when you create your unified developer experience, you didn't have seen it, but it was from the latest version. So, you know, our latest version, it was 10.0.35. Now we are 36. But if you copy your database from tier 2 instance to this new type of unified developer experience, it will copy everything. So the code, of course, the database, yeah, of course, and also the same version of Microsoft. So since I have upgraded my tier 2 instance to 10.0.36, it has copied, in fact, also an upgrade, in fact, my unified developer experience. Of course, in the future, like SES, it will be possible, but not yet available, to apply a service update, as we used to do it in SES. But right now, we don't have this option. So the only way to upgrade with the latest version of Microsoft to this new type of environment, it's doing that globally to upgrade the tier 2 or production and copy the database, like I explained before, with the copy button on Power Platform Admin Center to it. Okay, which is very strange. So I will reopen up my Visual Studio very quickly. Where is it? Here. Okay, thank you. Because normally, when I connect to it, you will have a pop-up saying that you don't have the latest source code on your own laptop. So it will give you will have a prompt by default to download the latest source code, because you need the source code of X++ locally, because you need to build your development. So of course you need the AOT stuff, all the class, the table, blah, 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 user interface on your own laptop. So when you connect normally to the Dataverse, I will say no, login, this one. Okay, thank you. So you see it's quite fast normally. Not, of course, not right now, but normally yeah, it's very fast. Come on. And now, of course, it's long. Default. Normally, you will have a message here. Yeah. So as you see here, you have a pop-up. Okay. And if I go to my laptop, you will have a local folder here to have the latest metadata. So you can see almost 10 gigabytes by default. So here you have everything, you know, the package local directory, as you used to know in Azure Cloud Hosted environment, you have all models of Microsoft. Okay. So here, since I have upgraded and I don't have yet the 10.0.36 metadata, I can download it locally, okay? When you download it, you have everything you need, especially the finance operation Visual Studio extension, you know, the one that we have on extension level in Visual Studio to do finance operation stuff. And you have also by default the cross-reference database that will be restored locally. First thing, the best practice I will recommend for you is really not to install SQL Express, okay? Because you will need really to have a local database on your own laptop to have the cross-reference. But by default, but it's not very well known, by default, when you install Visual Studio, you have another type of local, very small local DB. It's local DB. It's another type, and it's very more easier than doing and manage a SQL Server Express installation. But again, it's all explained in my article if you want to go with that. So of course, I will not download it right now because I don't have time, but of course, it's how to right now to have access to the latest metadata folder. So I will reconnect to the good one now, the one I want to do development. So the unified operation 2, which is still in 10.035. And okay, I have already have it. Thank you. And if I want to do development, I will go very fast, but it's exactly the same thing as you used to do it in Azure Cloud Hosting environment. So I can do models. I have to go and connect to an Azure DevOps, like me, as you can see. I can do form extension, class extension, etc., etc., etc. Fine. I will really go very fast on it because not very a huge change on this part. The only thing I want to show you is really the debug part, maybe, because you will ask me, okay, Aurelian, but since you are developing locally, but all things of transformation are on the cloud, how I can debug it globally? But you will see it's very simple. If the solution is opening, thank you. So as explained, I have created a very, very, very simple development. So I can do form extension. I can have, and I will have, sorry, the preview of this new form, and I can create classes. I can draw the code. Come on. Okay, so I can check the code, view code. The reference is working well. So if I click on it, I can pick definition or go to definition. It's working well, as you can see, because of the reference, the cross-reference database. Sorry, I didn't mention on how to set up it. So you have to go to Dynamics. So you know the extension of inspiration, configure metadata, and it's here where you say that. So that's why I explained you can work on several customers, several different versions, because you can have several configuration X++, okay, on your own laptop. As you can see, I have used the local DB, the SQL Server, because as explained, it's already available by default when you install Visual Studio. And here is how to map your custom metadata. So here it's my name, but here it could be the customer name or in which you are working. Customer A, customer B, customer C, customer D. On each level, you can have several subfolder, okay? Including separate different version. Here it's my 10.035. If I had downloaded the pop-up prompt I had before to download the new 10.036, I can extract it on another subfolder, 10.036, okay? And map it to the right one I want. So really great with that. Huh? So here I can do development. So I can maybe a very quick one, sorry, I don't have time. And I don't do a lot of development now, so so now it's like back. You never forget on how to do development normally. So yeah, just change the label name. Huh? It's a very quick one. Okay, so I click save. So here it didn't change at all. We need to refresh a little bit. Okay, so I put it Aurelian free S, okay, whatever, and I can build. Now I can build, and when I click build, it will build, of course, locally, okay? And after, since I don't have the AOS on my laptop, it's on the cloud. After the build, I need to deploy it, of course, okay? So this is really the real change here on development. It's here because you are developing on an online environment. So after the build, you need to deploy it. So now it's built. So now I can say, come on, right click, deploy. And this is it. Now it will deploy it. Okay. So I need to wait a little bit. But now what you will have by default also, when you go to the maker.powerapps.com, you will have a model-driven app, which is called Finance Operation Package Manager. So as you can see, I am on the right dataverse, the same one I have developed before. And you will see all operation history by default. Okay. So like this, you have operation history. And you will see all your deploy. You can see here. So it's an UTC. So now I have 2 hours more than UTC GMT. So right now the deployment is in progress. So this is the change. Will say that you can't really build, deploy. You know, you have, because from what I see right now, you will wait a little more than before. Okay, because you are on an online environment. So it's not all locally. It's not an all-in-one DevBox local. Everything is on the same server. So since we are on the locally, I deploy something on the cloud, I need to wait a little more than before. So if you just change one label, yeah, it's, you know, it will be incremental deployment, but you will need to wait a little more. Yeah. So I need to wait a little after I will deploy it. Meanwhile, I can maybe I can deploy my change. In fact, you know, same thing as before. I can commit my code, commit code demo, because I made a change, like explained before. I will explain very fast because I think the time is very 1 hour. It was complex. I know it, but yeah, if it's complex to go to deployment is already done. So let's go here. So you will see if I refresh, deployment succeeded. Perfect. So if I go to my environment here, so really, as you can see, it's my unified developer experience where I am connected to it. I will just show you. But normally, if it's working well, I have renamed it the label very quickly. Normally, it should work. And maybe after, I will just very show you the debug part. Come on. Well, so it's exactly the same thing as before, as Cloudless environment. When you deploy something, you restart everything on the cloud, the OS. So by default, yeah, it's not very quick to load. A lot of cache to do. But normally, the label has been renamed. If my development was good, but yeah, it was very simple one, to just change a label. Of course, this is not a best practice, because normally you should use the label files. Now I just hard-coded my label, but Aurélien 3S, perfect, it's working. Woo, incredible. Oh, sorry. And how to debug it? But something not very changed. So I can just activate a breakpoint. I click start, and that's it. It's a very, very good thing. And still, we are on public preview. It's very, very fast than before. So even you know, to load all X++ symbols locally, sometimes even in a closed environment, as you can see, I am debugging. It was very long, in fact, to load all symbols. Right now, well, I am on old laptop. Of course, it's not the best laptop of the world, but it's SSD disk and very basic computer I have right now. And as you can see, I have just add a breakpoint on the sales order. So again, a very simple class, event handler, exactly. Sorry. And I go to, I am not on the right one. I am on I can see the bug because I see that it didn't connect to the right one. Let me reconnect to the right dataverse. So the very important thing is if you will work on one Visual Studio working on several customers, as you can see, to check if you are connected to the right one. Otherwise, you will deploy a code on the wrong customer. So it's not very good. So it will be, a lot of jump, maybe. Yeah, I need maybe I will have to reopen Visual Studio. Come on. Meanwhile, I can show you quick thing is on my DevOps for the ALM, the last part of ALM, when my Visual Studio is loading. So I will reconnect again to the right Dataverse. I need to wait. It's time you have to wait until open project. I will reopen my project. So as you can see, there is a bug. Huh? When you go to connect to Dataverse, you switch between Dataverse. If you don't close the Visual Studio, it's still connected to the wrong, the previous one. So not very good. Well, we are still preview preview. Okay, come on. Extension. So meanwhile, it's loading, just to show you the ALM part, the DevOps part, it's not changing at all. The only thing they have changed here is there will be, and there is still, a new type of deployable package, which is called Unified Developer Package, which is not the same as deployable package. The deployable package, I guess you used to know what is it. Is really, the standard LCS deployable package. Now you can build a Power Platform unified package. In fact, could be great because you had done some kind of solution on Dataverse CE Serum side. And also you want to deploy extra F&O extension. So here you can have a whole one global unified package to deploy both on the same package. Okay. So now that's the thing I have checked here. It's you need to on the create deployable package, you have a new task version here, and you can generate this new type. So you can generate the both package. Okay, right now. Again, we are a kind of hybrid mode. So for tier 2 and production, you used to deploy and you have to still use the same deployable package we used to do it, deployable runtime on LCS. But for this new type of unified developer experience that you can use also as a test environment, sometimes I used to see it sometimes on closed-side environment. Some partners have deployed this one, not for development, but for test, Q&A, data migration stuff, etc. Now you can use this new type of test environment as a real test environment. That's what I have done, in fact. The unified operation 9 I created was this kind of test environment I want to deploy, not really a developer environment. But I want to deploy my latest compile code on it. So here to deploy it, because I can't deploy an LCS deployable package. This environment is not on LCS, it's only available through Power Platform Incenter. So that's why they have released this new type of unified package, because it's how to release it. It's what I need to do it like this. So again, I have the commit of my code I've done just 7 minutes ago has been compiled. Okay. Again, it's the same thing. You need artifact. You need NuGet packages, Nix++, because you don't have build VM anymore as a closed environment. And I can release it very quickly. And that's very important. So here it's how I release it. I can create. So here you will see that on how I release it, it's completely different right now as before, because you don't use the you don't use anymore the LCS extension of DevOps to deploy your package. I use Power Platform, as explained before. We are on the convergence part, which is very good because it's this one supports service principal connection with MFA. And as you know, to make the connection between DevOps and LCS, you need to have an account without MFA. to do, the whole way automatically, including the release part. Now, since we are on Power Platform side, I can deploy it very quickly and without security breach. As you can see, I can deploy it through my CRM, which is also a financial operation instance, and it will deploy my latest code on it, like this. And very, very important thing, you will see, but I will not wait because we are already in time. It's taking just 15 minutes, not 1 hour. Deploying a package on LCS take almost 1 hour minimum. Now, in 15 minutes, I can deploy a package. Of course, as you have seen, it's a very little model, but still, it's very quick. Very, very quick. And maybe I can try to reconnect to finish. I can try to reconnect to my Dataverse to show just the debug part. Okay, run. You will see, normally very quick. And after we can do Q&A. So yeah, just 1 hour to take, but yeah. Now will maybe be an extra time for Q&A. Sorry, just finishing my debug part, and we are good. And I can answer all your questions. It didn't load the symbol. Oh, so it will not works. Oh, shit. No, it works. Okay, he has loaded the symbol. Sorry. Okay. So it was a sales line modified field. So I need to go to another sales order very quickly. And it's on the modified field. Again, it's a demonstration class. Okay. I can go to this one. The loading part, it's still the same as tier 2. It's not very quick one because you in this new type of environment, you have just one AOS. And since you do a lot of deploying, restart, a lot of things to recache everything. So it's not very quick. And I can just maybe edit the quantity field on the sales line. Where is it? Yeah. Okay, let's make it 2. Hey, King debug was working well. Woohoo! And yeah, I can check and after a while it's the same debug as before. Okay, they was just showing you that it's very quick and the debug is working. Okay, finish. Sorry, I am 2 minutes late and didn't have time to response question, but I know it will be complex in 1 hour to summarize everything. I guess we can take 1 hour for each part, 1 hour for ALM, 1 hour for development, and 1 hour for environment strategy. But yeah, sorry for taking so long.
We need that once you come back from your vacations.
Yes. So can I have some question to respond? Maybe. I don't know if you have question.
Yeah, we have been doing a lot of conversation in the chat window. Hazel is here as well. Yeah, there were a lot of questions. A lot of questions were answered. We have Faisal here who has answered a lot of questions, which is great. Thanks, Faisal, for doing that. And yeah, I think if anyone wants to unmute and ask anything, feel free to do that, unless we have missed any questions from answering.
Don't hesitate. Otherwise, as explained, I'm available still on social network. I've seen some question today on my blog article, so you can use this one if you have question. But
yeah, I think there is one question, Arlene, which I was not able to answer. Maybe you can help with your views. So there was a question from Baharoi. You remember you showed copying data from one environment to another. So can we automate that action to copy data from production to lower environments? Is there an automation capability for that?
Yes. So since now we are on, so you, as explained, even if you are on for your LCS standard tier 2 prod database instance, you still need your Dataverse. But as explained, it was not mandatory, but still you need a Dataverse link environment. so that you can see it here, like me. I can see my tier 2 instance here on Power Platform, since I have well linked my environment. And after we are on all after that we are all on Power Platform side, okay, not F&O. So you can, as explained, you can have the copy button manually, but if you want to automate that, okay, maybe you noticed that before 2 or 3 years ago, it was, and still yet you can use API of LCS, you know, but again, it was complex because you still had an Azure App registration plus a service account on LCS without MFA. So sometimes it was complex for security purpose. But here you have just a task, again, with the Power Platform extension on DevOps. So globally, at the end, for DevOps, you still use and we will still use F&O extension on DevOps, but also the Power Platform. And here you can have the target, the source, and you can, well, it's a DevOps, so I can trigger it and have a schedule. Here I can say that every night I can copy my prod database on each unified developer experience without any manual action. So a real large improvement, because you know that before it was needed to copy to a sandbox LCS tier 2, backup it, upload it on RDP to the, you know, on the VM on Azure, on cloud hosted environment, restore it locally with SQL package.exe. So yeah, a lot of weight to do that. So here you can do, I see that where we can define the platform version application. So right now you can't. You have maybe noticed that on my Power Platform shell script here, I don't have the option to say I want the 10.0.32, you know. So it will be possible, but not right now. Yeah, sorry. Maybe it will be on the JSON package, you know, you create before. You say that you want the DevTools enabled, you want the Devo enabled. So maybe, I am not Microsoft, but they will add like something like this, app version, you know, and you put the thing you want, you know. And also the fact that it will be possible to apply a service update also in the future. Again, the Trace parser is not available right now also. Again, it's on the roadmap. So yeah, we are still on public preview, so not everything is available. So that's why it was part of my introduction. So really this new type of environment, which is very great. Huh? It's, you know, we will work on both type environment, I would say, for quite some months. So yeah, it's not in GA. So yeah, it's really good to do proof of concept, you know, to explore, but I will not use it right now for a real project, you know, because I don't want that, as you have seen before, that I had to reopen my Visual Studio because I was not connected to the good dataverse. So there is still some bugs. So hopefully in the beginning of next year, everything will be perfect. Hopefully.
Awesome. Anyone else wants to unmute and say something?
I just want to say it's a great session, Orion. Many thanks for the community. Just want to share my experience, and this is where like Orion really helped me out in configuring one of my dev environments with this unified operation. So what we need to make sure is we should be installing and configuring these environments in a very clean environment, because what I was trying to do, I was actually doing into my cloud hosted environment because I didn't want to use my laptop at all. I log into the already cloud hosted environment. This is where I was thinking, okay, I already have the Visual Studio installed. I already have the SQL Server installed. I do not need to do anything else. Since when you deploy the cloud hosted environments, all your binaries are there, all your FinOps tools already installed there. So if you try to mimic these things, you will run into a problem. That's where I was having some problems with the Power Platform tools and FinOps tools, and those were conflicting. Since this is still in the public preview, no support from Microsoft. So that's where I connected to Orion, and he said, yes, that might be the problem for you. Just go and do into your own laptop and it start working.
Thanks for sharing that, Faisal. We need these learnings to avoid the mistakes. Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
One
we'll
thing,
just take one. Yeah, go ahead.
hi, this is Umesh. So basically, what I have seen recently is what we can do. Even we can actually use leverage Azure virtual machines. Okay, so Azure virtual desktops
Mm.
can be leveraged, and also the Azure virtual machines can be leveraged to install this.
Mm.
So I will set up a environment, and then probably I will release a video soon.
Mm. Yeah, you mean an Azure standard Windows 11 VM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Could be a good trick. Yeah. If you don't want to crash your laptop. But yeah,
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
I didn't have any issue yet, even if it's my real working station. But yeah, but you could have some Visual Studio crashing. So as explained, yeah, it's very good for demonstration, proof of concept, but yeah, for production, no, I wouldn't say no. I've seen just a question if on the where we are when we are on one Visual Studio installation, so like me, and switching to a different version of D365, it works well with demo, with continuous update. What happens when VS Assembly are updated? Well, so globally, yeah, I have a simple configuration, as you have seen. So let's assume I was working on just one customer. So here I can really create several X++ configuration for all version I want and for all customer I work. Okay, so I can just click on current, to switch from one to another. Of course, you will need maybe also to switch from another DevOps. Okay, but as you know, Visual Studio support multiple accounts. So on multiple tenants, here I have just one, but if I have several accounts on different tenants, I can connect on all of them. I can really switch from DevOps A, B, C, D, E from different tenants, okay, to have the workspace connected to the right local folder I have, because of course it's exactly what we used to do it before. You can have several workspace, and you will not have anymore, the things that someone has left the company. I can maybe use the same cloud hosted environment he had before, but he didn't remove this workspace. It's locked. You can't remove it. So yeah, here you don't have to manage such things because it's your laptop as you. Okay, so your workspace is your workspace locally, and as you can see, I have created my workspace here to say that for this customer on this DevOps, I want to map it to the same X++ configuration I created before. Okay, so really you can. Right now I don't. Yeah, of course it's just demonstration, but for me I try it on 2 or 3 different tenants, and it was really possible to easier, I would say, to switch from different level, version, etc. And as I explained before it was, I had a pop-up of the prompt saying that, you are connected to a version I don't have locally. So you will have this pop-up, and it will be possible to download it. And maybe you have noticed that last week Microsoft just saying that now we'll have 4 versions per year, if I'm not wrong. So they are slowly decreasing the number of upgrades every year. So yeah, normally we shouldn't have to manage such things as before, where we had maybe 11 or 10 versions per year. So it was quite challenging. Don't know if it answers your question, but
Thanks, Sardine. I think we can take Santosh. Feel
No,
free
just
to unmute. Yeah.
just to that same answer, right? So, thanks for the session, first of all, and uh, right. So, my question is in terms of what happens when the Visual Studio libraries are updated, right? So, we have seen instance. So, for an instance on 10.36, right? So, we have seen in the forum that new assemblies would be required to support the D365 libraries, right? So when you have multiple versions, let's say a version 1, version 2, and version 3, if this is are the versions on the D365, and let's say VS version is now updated to VS5. Earlier it was VS4, which was supported for 1 and 2. Now from D365 version 3, it only supports version 5. So I'll have the new libraries installed for the VS Code.
Yeah.
In this scenario, right? So your 1 and 2 technically will not work because the library is using the updated code and all your references are still referring the old libraries as part of the VS Code. How do we tackle such issues then? If the source code remains consistent, it's fine. But we have seen instances, right, where Microsoft changes the product code. A best example would be the business events, right? In version they have in one library they used to have a different .NET stack, and all of a sudden when they release a new version, that the entire code base it gets removed, right? So such kind of scenarios, how do we tackle, or is it going to be streamlined across the product stack for D365 as well as Visual Studio?
For me, this will not change at all because here I am developing locally, but it's exactly the same thing as Azure Cloud System Environment. So if you are working on a project in which Microsoft change an assembly, you are referenced to it, this will not change at all. You know, you still download locally the metadata. You know, here I have extracted the metadata source code of this version. Of course, at this point of time, it's the new version 10.035. It's extracted on my local computer. This will not change, okay? But still, in the future, if in 10.036, I don't know, on some models they released, they change the library I was referenced to it, this will not change. So globally, this new feature will not fix your problem, I would say, or your challenging thing. Yeah.
I think
And
the
just one more
challenge
question,
will be
right? So
to
I had, I don't know if you have time for it. It was on the Git, although, right? So I've been speaking with a couple of key Microsoft stakeholders. Git is not the supported version, but with this, do we have a use case where we have multiple instances? The example you showcased, right? And where we have multiple Git instance with symbolic link. Have we tried out that scenario, or will that be a use case?
No. You can have, in this case, it will be possible to have several developers, but again, maybe complex to manage, but several developers connect to the same unified developer experience because all of them will work on their own workspace, on their own laptop, on their own Visual Studio, and deploy their model at hopefully not at the same time. That's why it's complex, but hopefully they can deploy to the same developer environment, which was really not possible before. You know, it was an Azure Cloud environment. You had to go with RDP, so one connection at a time. But you can deploy only one symbol or one model at the same time. So you can't deploy several different symbols, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe Santosh, we can also think offline because Git, I believe, is now supported because Microsoft
Git is
has
supported,
published it on Git. It is supported now. It was not supported in the past,
Yes.
but my understanding is it is supported now.
Yeah.
Okay. I just came out of call with the Microsoft. They still keep mum on that.
Just came out.
I just came out of the call. They still say it's not supported, although I'm running on 10.34 version, right? Just now I came out.
Yeah.
And this is the topic, right? They little mum on.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, but I'll go through this documentation, and if there is anything, I'll reach out to you, Richard, for sure. Thanks.
And I think they even released a large white paper. I don't have the link.
Yes, it was released by yes. I spoke with the relevant stakeholder as well now.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm trying a POC on that. So that's the reason that question was intended, whether we have this scenario for private preview, right? So I was just trying it out. Yeah. Thanks.
But you know, this new feature, you know, it's really independent of the DevOps part, I would say. You know, it's another stuff globally. So even if you developed locally here on my home laptop or still on an Azure Cloud environment, Git it's quite of a very strange
Same.
supported thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's another level. Yeah, DevOps part. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only change in DevOps side is that new tools which you have to install for build and release. But from
Yes.
repos perspective, I think it is completely
Yeah.
same. There
No,
is no change so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Great session. Anyone else want to say anything? I think we are just way over time, but really appreciate
Yeah.
Orleans your detailed explanation. But anyone if wants to unmute and share anything, feel free. I just need 1 minute to announce our next session. I'll just share my
Yeah.
screen for a minute.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, before I do that, Orlean, great session. Really amazing session. I
Thank you.
think one of the best we had so far in our group. So really appreciate it. Everyone is talking highly about the session in the chat window. So please, they all are conveying their regards and everyone is appreciating the depth you have gone to deliver the session. Just guys, the next session in our group is happening on 26th of October, where Anita from UK will be joining us and she will be talking about how to use Azure Data Factory to build some integrations with F&O. So it will be an interesting session where we can see how X++ developers are actually now exploring and getting their feet into these different new technology platforms and doing some magic with F&O. So register on our from our channel. I will share the registration forms soon, but do join us on 26th October at 5:30 p.m. IST. With that, yeah, thank you everyone. But the floor is open if anyone wants to unmute and say something. Thanks, Orlean. Any final comments? Yeah.
No, but thank you for the invitation. Yeah. As explained in the chat, it was we need a 4-hour workshop, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, thank you for the invitation, and see you in the next event or whatever we have in the coming weeks.
Yes, Tevan, you want to say something? I think he raised his hand and it's off now. But we wish you a great holidays, Orlean. Yeah, Faisal. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Faisal.
Is there anything for the CE developers to learn, or everything is only for the F&O developer or X++ developers to learn now?
It's mostly on really larger, mostly on F&O for But for CE people, the CE people maybe they just need to, I would say, to learn a little more the unified developer package, the DevOps part. If only you are working on a project where you have both things, I don't know, you deploy an existing you're deploying an F&O side on an existing CE already deployed for 2 years, Dynamic Sales, whatever. So they of course already have done maybe solution in which they have created table, blah blah blah. You add now your F&O instance. At the end, it will be great to to activate your F&O instance to an existing Dataverse that you already have CE application installed, and maybe you will need, and it's the goal of Microsoft on DevOps side. It's why they have done unified developer package UDP, is because you will need maybe to deploy just one global solution. First of all, to deploy the Dataverse development, and after the F&O development. Maybe also because you have done, the virtual entity stuff. So yeah, at the end, you have done maybe on the solution Power Apps Canvas, model-driven, adding new tables on Dataverse, X++ development, C# plugin on Dataverse. You have done different things, but you have one global package, you deploy to one Dataverse. It will deploy for the CE part first, and after for the F&O part second. That's the things they want.
So a lot to learn for the X++ developers, for the F&O developers now. Yes. And nothing for the CE developers. They will, and because just the last, sorry, just taking one more minute here. The moment I introduce this with few of my customers, so my feelings is there is a big war gonna happen with the CE people, because this is their territory. All the environments, Power Platform environments, C environments, whenever you go from the F&O world of the ERP world, they say, no, we don't want to give you the access to the Power Platform. Now
Right.
going forward, what's gonna happen? We will have our own house in their territory,
Mm.
and they will
Yeah.
not let us in there, and they don't understand the F&O part.
Yeah.
And so and they this is something I was about to have a call with Microsoft people and that side, because someone has to explain the CE people this is now a common territory. So that is something which I think is going to happen in future.
Yeah. Because the platform is converging, but the competence
Yes.
need to converge also.
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe Microsoft
Very
didn't.
well put.
Microsoft
Yeah.
didn't. They release products, they release software, but they are not really working as us as a partner on the real project. So we
Yeah.
know on the ground that it's not what they really wanted to expect, that all people also converge between the two worlds. And of course, if you are working on only on AX for 2 years, it's not the same thing.
We already struggle to get Power Platform access even while implementing dual, right? This is like whole
Yeah.
everything is getting
Yes.
into their house now.
Yes.
But yeah, interesting times ahead. I think a lot of things will change in the ecosystem. I just want to do a big shout out for Kamar Khan and Amar Khan, my friends who have helped us to streamline this event on LinkedIn. So thank you, Kamar. Thank you, Amar, for supporting us and doing the live stream. Awesome. All right. Cool. With that,
thank you, and see you.
Thank you, Orly. Happy
Thank you.
holidays to you.
Yeah, thank you.
We wish you all the best. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah,
All the
thanks
best.
everyone who has joined. Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry,
Thank
Charlie,
you,
you were
Ali.
saying something?
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye.
all.
See you guys.
Thanks all. Cheers. Bye.
See you.